Hello everyone, I'm Nitro.
And I'm Lotzi.
Wait a second, what did I tell you?
Just because you're bigger and even a real person doesn't give you the right to tell me what to do.
Alright, I gotta take care of this on my own then.
Wait, no!
Okay, back to the video guys. Today I'll show you how to make a character in Blender in only 5 easy steps that are really easy to follow and really easy to remember. So, considering you're ready, let's begin with step 1. Drawing the character before you actually start modeling it is proof to reduce the amount of time you spend in front of the computer while creating the 3D mesh. It's very important to have at least 2 drawings of your character, one from the front view and another from the side, but if you have a more complex character or a more detailed one, take for example a pirate or a more complex character that you can make just with 2 drawings, then you can make as many as you'd like to. This phase is just to make sure that you don't get stuck in the process of modeling the character, because it can get really messy from time to time. Oh yeah, and make sure that your side view of the character is facing the left side of the page, because later on when importing it into Blender as a background image you won't be able to flip it. Trust me, you can't, because this is how Blender works. If you draw a character facing the left side, it will import it facing the right side, and vice versa. Alright guys, and now that you know the importance of drawing the character before you actually go and model it, let's hop into the next part, which is of course implementing what you did.
This is the part where you take your photos and import them into Blender, either by plugging your phone into your computer and simply downloading the photos, or by using an app like Discord, WhatsApp, or even Facebook, and sending them to someone that you can import them from. Now that you got them on your computer, all you have to do is open Blender, go to Preferences, and make sure that Import as Images is checked. After you do this, you should be able to import images as background, and make sure that their rotation is correct and that they're aligned correctly on the axis. Fuck.
The time has finally come. Modeling the character means creating the raw 3D version of the character. At this stage, you don't want to complicate yourself with eyes, fingers, hair or anything like that. You just want to make the principal shapes of the character, which are the hands, legs, the body and the head. Also, Blender makes these steps so easy with the mirror modifier, which basically means that you only have to make half of the body, cause Blender will do the rest for you. You can also use the subdivision modifier to see how your character will look like and see if it needs any adjustments. Also, make sure that you don't have too many edges in your mesh, cause if you do so, lately when you add a subdivision modifier to your mesh, it will look literally like a bowl full of rice. And as I said, you want to keep it as simple as possible. Even if it looks like a 3D stick with hands and legs, you should hold on to that, cause we will take care of that later. Another thing to keep in mind while modeling the character is to never move the border segments out of the Z-axis. If you are wondering what are the border segments, then you should know that they are basically the segments which divide your mesh into 2 while using the mirror modifier. But why shouldn't I move them, you might ask? Well, the answer is because you will create holes at the bottom of your character which you will lately have to fill one by one, or even start all over again if you didn't save your project. Now that you have the raw version of your character, all that's left for you to do before you hop into the detailing part, which is the last one, is to make sure that everything is ready. How do you do that, you might ask yourself? Well, in this part, the subdivision modifier is your best bet. Once you apply it, you'll be able to see every single issue that your character might have, and you only need to remove it and repair what you've discovered. This part is especially important if you want your character to be realistic or you will have particular features on it, cause later when you animate it you won't have to deal with holes, duplicates, missing parts and all of those things that are there just to make your life harder. Okay guys, so before we hop into the editing part, we have one last thing to do, and that is to check our mesh to see if there is anything wrong with it. And in order to do that, what you have to do is add a subdivision modifier and see if there is anything wrong. Anything that might not be right. Take me for example, look at these shoes, they are completely crazy. So, in order to fix this, what you have to do is, it's very simple trick. Go into the editing mode by pressing tab, then select everything with double tapping A, and then go to vertex, merge vertices, and by distance. This is what you're looking for. Select it, and by magic, it's prepared. As you can see, there is nothing more to worry about. And this is my trick. It was really easy and really useful. So, now, let's hop into the detailing part. I bet everyone was waiting for this. The one and the only one, the detailing part. This is the step where you can let your imagination flow and forget about the limits. Cause now you have a fully modeled and checked character that's waiting for you to make him handsome or beautiful if it is a girl. It's time to add color to your mesh, so you should start creating materials for each part of the body and assign them properly. Don't forget about the face. Start by making the nose first and then move on to the eyes, the mouth, the chin and anything else you might need. If it is a soldier, then make a scar or a bruise. If it is a pirate, make a bird and a fluffy mustache. After that you should focus on making the ears. For example, if you make an elf, then make them sharp. And about the hair, you can make it in any way you like. Me for example, instead of using curves like everyone else, I like to do it the old-fashioned way, and that's duplicating the top of the head, scaling it, adding a solidifier modifier, and then just changing the color, really, that's it. Making the eyes is really not that big of a deal. You just need to add a sphere and change the color of the iris. And about that, if you're using mirror in this part, then the eye should be a different object, so that when you join them, it will mirror the eye as well. Same goes for any feature you might add to your character that you want to mirror on both sides. That being said, the detailing part is in my opinion the most enjoyable of all, since you get to practice your 3D modeling but you also unleash your imagination in order to create something the world has never seen. And that was it, guys. I quickly want to thank you for watching this video cause it took an awful long time to make, and in the end I realized how fun it was to make. If you want to see me fully modeling a character, drop a like, subscribe to my channel and tell me down in the comments what would you like to see me modeling. Also, stay tuned for my first full animation that comes down this month, and don't forget to follow me in my Instagram account so you don't miss the sneak peeks that I occasionally launch. That being said, guys, I love you all and I'll see you in my next video.